Welcome everyone. Sorry, actually I asked Marco if he'll start, just because we never know how to start this thing, and once we get rolling it's always fun because we do have a fire and it's a good space. And Marco, nice to have you back.
Yeah, no, thanks Peter, it's good to be back. I spent a good couple of weeks on the road and travelling around quite a bit. It's always good to get back to the bush after some hectic time in the big city and out on the tar. So it's good to be back. Good to be back with the team. New face when I got over here, Matteo. He's fitted in great, so it's good to meet him. But just all in all, it's always nice driving in the gates at Gowrie Gate and coming back into Djuma and seeing everybody and being back in the bush. So, oh, thanks, man. It's good to be back. So I just had a bit of a chuckle there because just as we about to go live, Matteo has to give us a countdown, and he's screeching from the director's seat over there, so it's always an entertaining way to start our chat. But welcome to our fireside chat. It's Sunday evening, just after 7 p.m. Central African time, and we are here around the fire, just relaxing, having a chat, Peter and myself, and Matteo will come and join us in a bit. But it's been, well, I think, Peter, you'd be the best to talk about the week. I only got back on Thursday, so there's been quite a bit of activity around.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, one of the things often for me, it's almost strange to remember what I saw on the drive the morning, never mind 5-6 days ago. So the timeline of it can sometimes get a bit confusing when you're live out there. I tend to forget some of the things when you sit down later on. But we've had in general an incredible week with first and foremost with Wonky, the elephant that's been around a lot. I mean, you've seen some of it since you've been back. And also just lots of great elephant viewing. We've had fantastic leopard this morning. Buffalo, we had that massive big herd with Rex and Alex on drive. So it's been very good, typical Selby Sands winter game viewing. I've had an incredibly interesting week or two as well from a personal point of view. So yeah, it's been good.
With that buffalo herd, because that was on the day that I just arrived back. They were down at the Gowrie Pan, weren't they?
At Sydney's Dam.
At Sydney's Dam, okay. Sydney's Dam. No, it's just the reason I ask is with a big herd like that moving through the area, and it's been a question that a lot of people have been sending through is with regards to the water situation in the reserve and the water holes. And just a big herd like that's got to surely put quite a bit of pressure on the water sources that are available for us out here, or for the wildlife.
Yeah, big time. I mean, we were talking about... I'm very sorry, but in the end we are all here and it's all live. Matteo, do you mind just turning the speaker down a little bit? I can hear myself talking. And it's a bit weird, but Matteo is sitting literally over there, and Alex is just behind the camera over there, so it just makes it much easier. Thank you, Matteo. And yeah, we were talking about it the other night. Actually, was over at Paul Kruger's camp, and a bit of a story about it. But there was a guy there from Texas who farms a lot of cattle, and we were talking about how much water a cow can drink when it's very thirsty, and so on. But even if you just take, let's say, a very small amount, those buffalo probably drink, in a rough calculation, 20-25 liters of water per buffalo. A bit more than that, but let's just keep it low down. And you're talking about 2,000 buffalo. You know, that's 5,000, 10,000, 5,000 liters a day, about, I think.
Yeah, it's a large amount, and not only that, the impact it actually has on the waterhole itself, churning up all that mud, and you often see the animals coming down to the waterholes afterwards. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there have actually witnessed that. As soon as a big herd comes down to the waterhole here with the cameras, afterwards it's pretty much just sludge, and then maybe some waterbuck come down, some impala come down. They just have a bit of a sniff around, and they decide to head off somewhere else and see if they can find some fresher water. And that's, I think, the best example of animals testing and being, I wouldn't say fussy, but being clever enough to get the best is definitely the elephants, and Wonky has been a prime example over the last couple of weeks. Just with as soon as they start pumping water into the pan, I'm sure he hears it, so he's down there and he's got his trunk right over the pipe, just sucking up the fresh water as it comes out, and definitely taking advantage of all the fresh water coming to the pan. Yeah,
it's been interesting. I mean, and it's even other animals. When the water's coming out, you notice impala and things all standing around there. Maybe some of you don't know, but that pan is pumped, and at the moment there's just quite a lot of need for other water around the camp, I think, which is why it's not pumped as regularly. But quite often, if you look at from the one sort of the lower down angle where you see the waterhole, you'll see a lot of animals congregating around the little spot. and obviously that's because it's fresh water. So it's very popular with them. But also the waterholes itself, Marco, just to come back to what you were saying with big herds of animals. Now, if you have 2,500 buffalo coming to drink, they literally sort of empty out the dam a little bit. When they walk away, the dam has got less water in by a large margin. But also elephants and just everything from the bird life to everything else. Obviously, the more animals drinking from a waterhole because there's less other water available. A dove drinks a couple of teaspoons worth of water, but there's a couple of thousand doves probably a day that drinks there. So it puts a bit of strain on it, but it's normal. It's winter. 50 or 100 years ago, there would not even have been water in this specific area during winter. So the fact that there is water means there can be more animals around and they can utilize the habitat, which is in good shape. So
yeah, no, and it's actually a good thing to remember. Just speaking on the side of the animals are going to be coming to the water holes, and it's definitely a prime location to spot game. You, as a person that would come out visiting Africa, people always ask, Peter, what is the best time of the year to come to South Africa to go on a safari? And it's not really an easy question, but on the game viewing side of it, just based on the subject that we're talking about now, short supply of water, it's going to be an area where animals congregate, so a good chance of spotting game out over there. So on the mammal side of it, it is most certainly a good time of the year to come out in the drier months. But then again, summer offers a total different experience, doesn't it?
Big time. Actually, Marco, just a very interesting thought I had on when you asked that question, because it is a question that's typically asked by everything from guests and tourists to friends that you give advice on when to go on safari and so on. And speaking of questions, we are going to get to some of the questions that came through from the viewers. When you spoke about enough food around just now, I was thinking about someone asking about biltong and what kind of meat gets eaten out here and so on. But just quickly to get back to that, the best time of year really is any time of the year. To come out and there's never a bad time to go on a safari, to use the traditional term, or to go and experience the bush. That really is something that we've proven now by going out every day. And any guide, anyone that goes on a lot of safaris will tell you that. And I think one of the great things with WildEarth, and we're learning more about this, is the fact that many of you sitting around the fire with us tonight, and you're busy learning to experience this space with us, we'll still get a lot more used to this space like we have on the vehicle. But the benefit is that you can come out any time of the year. We've had people now that have been on more game drives probably than a lot of guides.
Absolutely.
People that have been with us from the first day, that interact with us via questions. A lot of people that don't maybe interact, but they come and drive often. So in terms of the experience that this is providing now, apart from being live, which obviously makes it not only unique, but very real time and very personal, which is something I've learned about a lot the last couple of weeks with the personal trust relationship with you, but is the fact that people can come any time of the year for what we do. So at least they don't have to worry about coming at the right time of year, or even bringing the right clothes. Sure. if it's a bit cold, they go close their window and they make a cup of
coffee.
tea.
Yeah, sure.
So
and if you are coming, actually come as many times as you can. That would be the best solution. But if you can't, that's the best part about WildEarth, that you can join us and you can actually get an idea of what it is like at the various seasons and the different times of the years. There's so many different things to see, to view, to experience, and as Peter or Rex or myself take you out there, and you can see that through our eyes and our senses. You can learn a lot about what you enjoy the most about being out in the bush, and what time of the year is best for you. It is in the luxury of your chair back at home. So that is a great opportunity to be able to share that with everybody. And like you said, our viewers do get the chance to experience the bush in so many different ways, and a lot more than, like you said, guides.
Yeah, more than some of you have been on more game drives with WildEarth than I've been. And I've been on a fair amount of them. So, sorry, I was just thinking about a whole bunch of things that I don't even open that door now. I've really been through a very interesting stage, Mark. I've told you, maybe later tonight we'll sit around the fire for a while longer and talk about some of it. But there really has been some breathtaking sociological discoveries for me almost in the last while, in terms of how people share this with us and we with you. But like I said, that's a conversation that can probably take us through to sunrise. One night I actually did stay up through sunrise thinking about it, so let's maybe get back to a couple of questions. Like I said, there were one or two almost humorous ones that I quite enjoyed, and forgive me if I forget the names. I wrote them down here. It's